Good afternoon, everybody. It's about 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon here in the Waikato, and I've decided, since it's the hottest part of the day, that we might as well make our mushroom garden, because why wouldn't you do it when it's nice and cool, whatever. The spot I've chosen is over here. I've got some logs lying down. I've sort of been watching this area for a couple of months now, just making sure it has all the elements for a mushroom bed. And it seems it does, because behind me we've got some self-populating mushrooms growing on one of these logs down here. I doubt that they're edible, but it does show that the environment is conducive. So we're going to have to clear out this area, put down some cardboard on the ground so that it's not competing with any parasites, bacteria or anything like that that's already in the ground. Lay the bed and put the mushroom spawn in. Anyway, we'll video out and see how it goes. This is my first time, so we're just going to give it a crack. As you can see here, this is the spot I've chosen. Like I say, we've got the logs laid down here. This particular area has the shade of a pretty big oak tree. It's been here for a long time. So we've got shade most of the day, we've got light, we've got moisture, and we've got a light breeze that comes up the hill from the river. So yep, we're hoping for a little bit of success here. We're going to pull the logs away, put cardboard down, lay some straw down in sort of lasagna style, and throw the grain that's been populated with some phoenix oyster mushrooms. And hopefully in a couple of months, around about autumn time, when it gets warm and humid, we should see the first of our mushrooms pop up. Here we have our basic materials. We've got 3 1 kilo bags of phoenix oyster mushrooms. You can see with the whiteness in it, they're pretty much ready to populate whatever we put it into. We've got a compressed bale of straw, and that should double in size when we cut the strings. And we're going to wet that in layers so that it has moisture and warmth all in one go. But first we've got to clean this area up. There we go, area's all cleaned up. Gonna lay some cardboard down there, just so if there's any sort of fungal bacteria or anything down here that doesn't have to compete, that it has a good head start on it. We'll wet the cardboard so it's nice and damp. Eventually the cardboard will break down, or the mushroom spores will just eat it anyway. It's just a food source, so we'll get that underway. Alright, cardboard all laid out, nothing special about that. Didn't record it because you all know what to do with cardboard. We're going to water that in and start the lasagna bed. You'll notice that I'm only doing sort of half the area. So what I want to do is I want to heavily populate this half with all 3 kilos of the this mycelium spore, or whatever you call it. And if that goes well, then I'll wait a couple of months and I'll do this half of the bed, so we've got mushrooms growing at different times and at different stages. For a little bonus, I've actually got some wooden dowels which we can drill into wood and populate some of these branches of wood as mushroom populated as well. So a little bit of everything. We'll see how we go. Well, that wasn't very dramatic. I was hoping that would like explode, but anyway, is what it is. Just as a side note, if you are using cardboard, try and use as natural a product as possible. You don't want a whole lot of sellotapes, you don't want a whole lot of printing inks or heavily bleached cardboard. Ideally as natural material as possible. If these mushrooms do what I hope they do, and then once the product has given a couple of flushes of mushrooms and it's all finished, this cardboard will all be broken down and all the mushroom compost will go in the garden, and we'll make the mushroom compost do another round by growing vegetables in it, and we'll start all over again. So again, as natural materials as possible so you can put it back into compost or back into garden. Straw's quite compressed, so we're just going to basically loosen it up, shake it out over the cardboard. We just want to put a thin layer down, and we just want basically put enough down so that the cardboard holds a bit of water. It's a bit chunky. Shake it all about, put a thin layer down and water it in again. So essentially what you're trying to do is trying to create an environment where there's lots of air gaps for the mushroom spores to sort of grow and connect, a little bit like the roots of a plant might grow. And you sort of want that to have all these air gaps in it. The straw will actually be a food source for the mushrooms, from what I believe. Again, this is researched information, it's not first-hand experience, but usually they just eat the straw and work their way through all the material until the plant itself expires or runs out of food. So I want to put all of this down and water it in. Now I've got the secret ingredient, which is a healthy dose of horse dung. Bit of horse poop. It's been sitting in that bag for like probably a good month, just maturing. So we're going to spread that as part of the food source. It's heavily organic, obviously it's full of grasses and stuff like that. So that's going in our first layer as another food source. There, all spread out, and we're just going to put down another layer of straw. Had to do this when the family wasn't home, because behind me here is my daughter's bedroom window, and she knew I was going to put horse poop outside her window. She would probably have a little cry session, so we're going to get this done really quickly. But for your reference, no smells whatsoever, doesn't smell like poop, doesn't smell like anything, it just smells like clean compost. So interesting, it's been sitting in that bag for a month, it's actually got no odour at all. Next layer down, time to water. Got to water in each layer and just keep building up that lasagna in layers. This product I purchased from a New Zealand company called Mycologic. They're not sponsored, but I found their information on the website to be super helpful. You knew what you were getting. They sent you some sort of instructions on how to care and look after your product, and we're just going to probably break all the rules of gardening. There's a lot of sort of conjecture around sterile environments and things like that, but we've chosen an endemic mushroom that should grow outdoors in the wild, so we're just going to continue breaking rules and see what happens. That's a whole kilo bag down. We're going to do this 3 times. I've got 3 kilos, 3 layers. So I'm just going to throw this all down, and I'll give you a shot when she's all done. Okay, we've got the finished bed. We've got 3 kilos of the mushroom culture in there. The top layer of straw was a double layer, so I've done that really thick so we can try and avoid any big swings in temperature, can provide some consistency in temperature. And of course we'll put the netting down over top to stop any wind disturbance, animals, we've got pets, that sort of thing, and that should hold the straw down. This area here, you can see the sun just starting to break in. In the late evening we'll just stream through here and warm it up. So again, that'll give it a bit of temperature to hold overnight. I think we get about 10 degrees Celsius temperature drops overnight at the moment, being summer, and then it should warm up again 18 degrees first thing in the morning and run to about 26 for the next week or so, which will be hopefully good conditions to start this. update in a week or two.